For some, it seems a wasteland. For others, an oddity. And for a select few, the Bonneville Salt Flats represents what might be possible. For it's here, on a dry seabed, that possibility becomes reality and dreams become legend. Like so many of its noble land speed ancestors, the 757 Camaro has quietly created a legacy of speed. As the 757 rolled off the assembly line in 1982, few would have appreciated just what this little red car would someday become. Tom Dahl, a General Motors design engineer, would purchase the shiny new Camaro and, in an odd chain of events, turn the vehicle into a racing legend.
I used to work for GM. I was an engineer at GM. I worked on the design of this car. When they first came into production, I decided I had to have one, so I bought this car brand new in 1982. I put a 406 engine in it about 6 months after I bought the car, drove it on the street for a couple of years. Had to park it because Michigan put in place an emissions law, which the car wouldn't meet, so I parked it for 3 or 4 years. Came out here in 85 as a spectator, said, this looks like fun. So I said, hey, I got that Camaro sitting back in Michigan, I might as well make a race car out of it. So I did. Came out here in 1990, ran it by myself. In 91, I teamed up with Jim Fox and Steve Christopherson, and we started campaigning the car. We ran it from 1991 as a team until 2004. We set multiple records. We put 6 people in the Bonneville 200-mile-an-hour club. Then we sold the car to Jack Rogers from Evansville, Indiana, and they've taken it to the next level.
That next level would start, however, with rookie owner and driver Jack Rogers. Like so many land speed racers, Jack had read a lot about Bonneville and had even visited the racing mecca long before the dream of actually racing would become a reality.
We bought the Dahl Fox Christopherson Camaro in June of 2008. Steve Strupp and I had about 30 days to get it ready for World of Speed. We didn't really expect to set any records with it because it had been not been raced for 4 years. We just thought we'd be out here trying to sort it out. We put it on the track after I did my rookie runs, and we were running about 223, and the record was 225 plus. And so Steve and I just decided that we were going to get a record or go home with a bucket of bolts. So we didn't have the jets, and we didn't have the other tools that we needed to do this. But Steve figured out if he raised the floats high enough and he advanced the ignition as far as he dared, that there was a good chance that we could capture that record, and capture it we did.
Like many land speed racing cars, the 757 Camaro started off like an ordinary personal vehicle.
It started off as Tom Dahl's personal car. Tom Dahl, as a matter of fact, one of the three guys that originally built this car, was educated at GMI, spent 38 years at GM and retired from there, and designed all the sheet metal for GM forward of the firewall for this car.
For the most part, the Camaro looked much like it did back in 1982. However, on the track at Bonneville, at speed, it neither sounded like nor drove like a regular vehicle.
At 200 miles an hour, just about any car wanders a little bit, even with no wind. It's following and that's until you get used to it. It's a little bit scary. But any corrections that you make are just made very minutely. And you can feel the ground rushing underneath you. You can see it out in front of you. And of course, you're focused way down the track, primarily at the track markers, watching the mile markers as they click by. But it is a sensation unlike any other that I've had before in my life.
The next few years would provide the 757 Camaro with ample opportunity to stretch her legs on the legendary raceway, all while pushing class records higher and higher.
Well, the car holds a lot of records. Up until about 6 weeks ago, it held the record from A production through D production. Recently, we lost the A production record. We're back here today to try to regain that record. It also holds the record in B gas coupe and C gas coupe, as well as the records in B fuel altered, C fuel altered, and D fuel altered, and the records in B gas altered, C gas altered, and D gas altered. That's quite an impressive list for one car.
Finally, in 2010, the 757 Camaro would really hit her stride and set herself apart from the crowd as she would attempt what many saw as an impossible feat, setting 3 records in 4 days.
At this meet, we hope to get as I mentioned before, the A production record, the A fuel altered record, and the A gas altered records. We haven't had an A engine for this car since the former owners ran it sometime in the 1990s.
And with that said, the 757 Camaro went to work.
Completing its run now, a Jack Rogers Camaro. This is the ex-Doll Fox Christopherson car. 454-inch Chevrolet. Jack Rogers out of Evansville, Indiana. After a record of 235.715. Qualified yesterday at 238.877 in the middle mile. Jack Rogers machine, class change, running A gas altered this time. And now they're after a record of 242.099. That's a big record. Leigh Fielder, the Aussie Assault, established that record in 1998. They got the record in A production.
Class change with a new number of 7571, running an A fuel altered with Jack.
7571 with Jack in a new Class A fuel altered.
That is correct.
That's an A fuel altered Jack Rogers, the driver. Record in this class 236.655.
I never could find him.
While this little red car may have been born to travel ordinary roads, it was the Salt at Bonneville where she would live her days, quietly rewriting record books and creating the legend of the 757 Camaro.